As per the most recent long-haul gauge, AMP cost will hit 0.05 toward the finish of 2024 and afterward 1 cent by the center of 2026. AMP value GIBA 2024 to 2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at 0.036 dollars. Today, AMP exchanged at 0.046 dollars, so the cost expanded by 26% from the very start of the year. The estimated AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.058 and the year-to-year change plus 59 GIBA. The GIBA from today to year-end, plus 27%. In the principal half of 2025, the GIBA cost will move to $0.062. In the last part, the cost would add $0.019 and close the year at $0.081, which is plus 77% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026 to 20 GIBA. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $0.081 to $0.0164, which is up 102%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.081, then, at that point, take off to $0.099 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at 0.0117 GIBA. That GIBA plus 155% from today. AMP forecast 20 GIBA 1 to 2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.0164 to $0.217, which is plus 32%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.0164, then, at that point, take off to $0.0175 GIBA the principal half of the year, and finish 2031 at $0.0186. It is about plus 306 GIBA from today. GIBA 1st 2024. AMP value GIBA 2024 to 2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at GIBA $0.036. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.049, so the cost expanded by GIBA 6% from the very start of the year. The Guaj AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.07 and the year-to-year change plus 92 GIBA. The GIBA from today to year-end, plus 42%. In the main portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.075. In the final part, the cost would add 0.023 GIBA and close the year at $0.098, which is plus 98% to the ongoing cost. Disappointment GIBA 2026 to 2030. These 5 years would bring a huge increment. AMP cost would move from $0.098 to $0.0199 GIBA, which is up 103%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.098, then, at that point, take off to $0.012 GIBA the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.0142. That implies GIBA 187% from today. AMP forecast 20 GIBA 1 to 2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from GIBA $0.0199 to $0.0265, which is plus 33%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.0199, then, at that point, take off to $0.0212 inside the primary GIBA of the year, and finish 2031 at $0.0225. It is about plus 300 GIBA 5% from today. June GIBA 2024. GIBA value expectation 2024 to 2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.036. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.054, so the cost expanded by 49% from the start of the year. The GIBA AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.099 and the year-to-year change plus 172%. The ascent from today to year-end, GIBA 83%. In 2024, we hope to see Freedom Point GIBA $0.68 per 1 AMP. In the principal half of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.0129 GIBA in the final part. The cost would add $0.029 and close the year at $0.0158, which is plus 192% to the ongoing cost. AMP GIBA 2026 to 2030. These 5 years would bring an increment. GIBA cost would move from $0.0158 to $0.302, which is up 91%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.0158, then take off to $0.0165 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.0161 GIBA. That implies GIBA 198% from today. AMP forecast 20 GB 1 to 2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.302 to $0.389, which is GB 29%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.302, then dip to $0.0285 JABA inside the principal half of the year, and finish 2031 at $0.0301. It is about GB 456% from today. GB 1st 2024. GB value expectation 2024 to 2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.036. Today, AMP JABA at $0.007, so the cost expanded by 93% from the start of the year. The Guaj AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.0103 JIBA, and the year-to-year change plus 183%. The JIBA from today to year-end, plus 47%. In 2024, we hope to see JABA $0.071 per 1 AMP. In the principal half of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.0134. In the last part, the cost would add $0.03 and close the year at $0.0164, which is plus 133% to the JABA cost. AMP JIBA 2026 to 2030. These 5 years would bring an increment. AMP cost would move from $0.0164 to $0.311 JIBA, which is up 90%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.0164, then, at that point, take off to JABA $0.0171 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.0167. That implies plus 138 JIBA from today. AMP expectation 2031 to 20 JIBA 5. In this period, the AMP cost would JABA from $0.0311 to 4 cents, which is plus 29%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.0311, then, at that point, dip to $0.0293 inside the main JABA of the year, and finish 2031 at $0.309. It is about JIBA 340% from today. May JIBA 2024. JIBA value expectation 2024 to 2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.036. Today, AMP JABA at $0.069. So the cost expanded by 91% from the start of the year. The estimated AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.0158, and the year-to-year change plus 334 JIBA. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 128 JIBA. In 2024, we hope to see $0.94 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.0223. In the last part, the cost would add $0.076 and close the year at $0.0299 per pair, which is JABA 331% to the ongoing cost. AMP JIBA 2026 to 2030.